Where to begin? Chad Manley here, gonna teach you how to make the Chad Manley bacon bowls. First thing, Chad, why we got all this shit on the oven? I'm gonna show you all the ways you can make these. If you ain't checked out the ebook, it's all in there. Be sure to pick up the ebook so that you can also get, the amazing art from Josh. Shit's amazing. You don't want to miss it out. You don't want to have to keep going to the video all the time, I mean, I don't mind if you do, but get the ebook, y'all. And eventually we'll have like maybe a paperback, hardback. You can throw it on the coffee table. It'll be amazing. Different ways to make it. The different tools you can use. One of which is your classic cupcake pan, right? You'll need two of them. And a pan to put them in, because you're gonna get grease. It's gonna drip over the side. You don't want it pouring straight into the oven. That's gonna be a mess. That's gonna be a fire hazard probably. I don't know. I ain't a fire marshal. Second option. Most people have these, right? But you gotta clean them. If you don't feel like cleaning shit, this is your best option right here. Just go get you some of these disposable aluminum ones that you can buy at the grocery store. Again, you're gonna need two at least, And the pack I have actually had 2 of these, 4 of these, so you can do twice as many that fast. It's ready made, y'all. It's got the deep pan for catching the grease. It's got 2 of these. It's got 4 of these, so that you can layer. All right, same concept. Now, let's get rid of this shit because nobody wants it. I ain't wasting my time. I've learned my lesson. We need a pan with a rack. Then, 2 different sizes of cupcake silicone molds. You got your classic. Then you got your larger. What you do, you take one of those, you wrap the bacon on it, and then when it's ready to go in the oven, you drop that on top. I'm gonna show you how it works, but first, we gotta get this out of the way so we can cut some bacon. And since I don't wanna mess up my nice jacket, we're just gonna take that off right now. All right, so get your bacon. I like some applewood bacon. This is the local store stuff. Tends to always be on sale, seems like. Even when it's not, it's cheaper than the name brand. And it's just as good, if not better, for this, for whatever reason. All right, so first thing you want to do, open a couple of these up. Obviously, I'm going to be doing a lot of bacon. Ain't no point in doing just a couple. Again, applewood bacon. I ain't lying about this shit. What you want to do, get yourself a nice little knife. Bigger's better. I don't know. Looks fancy though, don't it? Some people mock the knife, I'm sure. They got better, they got Ginsu, they got whatever, I don't know. Old, handed down through the family, it works. All right, so you want to count these things because they're never, if there's anything that's consistent about bacon, it's that it is inconsistent in the number that you get. 13, 14, dear God. That's fine, that's fine. Now this one, 10, 11, that's what I'm talking about. So you already know you ain't got an even number between the 2 packs, which is going to be a problem when you're making your bacon bowls. Now, ideally, make as many as you can at a time, depends on the size of your pan. I got a pretty decent sized pan. I think I can put 12 on there. Let's take one of these, throw it over there. Now we got 12 and 13. We're gonna look at these, we're gonna decide which ones we want to be the wraps and which ones we want to be the crisscross. Now generally, the nicer the bacon, the more likely I am to cut that one in half. Because you don't want to cut in half like this. Look at this one. So you got this little dip here, right? Show you all on this camera too. See the dip? They're all going to have that because generally all the bacon that's in one pack kind of similar, right? Now, what you want to do, you want to save that kind for wrapping because you don't want uneven crisscross pieces. So you want even crisscross to get a good coverage on the bottom of the cupcake silicone mold or pan if you poverty using the pan. Get off them pans. If you're going to start making bacon bowls and as soon as you taste one, you're going to want to make them all the time, just go ahead and get them silicone cup molds. We got links in the description. And in the ebook, straight to the ones that I'm using. Now the colors might be different because they kind of switch up colors, discontinue shit, all that kind of stuff. Whatever, just make sure you get the sizes right. You want regular size and then slightly larger than regular size. But don't go too big because there's definitely way bigger. Unless you get some huge ass pieces of bacon, you ain't gonna be able to use them. You'll come up short wrapping, that sort of thing. All right, so take your halves, throw that on the cutting board. Throw your trash away. I like to keep a tidy cooking area if you can. All right. Now, straighten that shit out. And let's just go ahead and cut these in half, right? All right. We got our halves. Ready to go. We got our halves. We got our wraps. Now, set you to the side since I've shown you how to do cuts of damn bacon. Let's get our cups on here, right? And the good thing about the silicone molds versus the other ones is you can do them as you go so that you have all the space that you need to make these things. Whereas when you got the pans, they're kind of set in place. You got to work around, bacon's going to be wrapping on top of each other. You got to finagle shit all the time. All right, so let's start with our poverty piece right here. Put that shredded piece on the bottom. We're going to take the nicer piece, put it on top. And now we're just going to take this piece and wrap it around. Very simple, right? All right, now, good thing about this is I can immediately take this larger one, put it on top. That is going to hold that bacon in place and down, keep it from falling off when that thing starts to cook, because bacon's going to shrink. Bacon's going to shrink, it's going to rise up and topple off if you don't do something with it. This is what you do. Now we're just going to put that over there where it needs to be. That one's ready. That's how you do them. Now you just repeat the process for as many as you're going to do. So now we're just going to do a little montage thing. Actually, let me explain why I'm using these instead. The other good thing about silicone is it's not going to block the heat of the ovens. These are also going to cook quicker in the oven versus anything with the metal pans. The metal pans, especially the solid ones that are not disposable, real thick metal, one, you're going to have to spray the inside of those things for the top one that you put down, right? Because you're going to have to do all your bacon bowls at once. They're kind of going to be falling. You're going to have to put them back together as right before you put that top piece on. You put the top piece on, it's going to weigh down, but you got to spray that shit with some some of this butter kind of spray, non-stick shit. Because once you cook those things, bacon's going to stick to the metal, y'all. You don't want that, because you're going to have to take that top off in the last 10 to 15 minutes of your cooking time, which is going to be longer because of that metal, because the metal's blocking the heat, absorbing it, not letting the bacon cook as quick. So what you do is you cook about 30 minutes, and then take the pan off 30 to 35 minutes. Depends on your oven. Obviously, everybody's oven is going to be different, right? Then you take that top pan off and hope to God that bacon doesn't stick to the top of it, because it's going to ruin all the perfectly good bacon bowls you were trying to make. You take that top off, last 10, 15 minutes, you cook it with nothing on top, because at this point they should be able to hold their shape. Probably still going to rise up, slide off, maybe, but if you're lucky, they'll stay down, they'll hold the shape, and now they'll get nice and crispy with that extra baking time. So with the pans, you're talking maybe 55 minutes, maybe an hour, maybe more. Depends on your oven, depends on how thick your pans are, that kind of shit. It'll be slightly less with the aluminum because they're a little thinner, but same idea. They're kind of blocking the heat from circulating onto onto the bacon. The good thing is they got them little ridges, because they're all misformed or whatever, deformed. Look at them. Where'd they go? See how they got them little ridges? Kind of helps the bacon not stick to them on the inside, because it's the same on the inside. So that's another benefit of the aluminum ones, the disposable ones, plus not having to clean up. So if you don't like to clean up and you don't want the bacon sticking, there's your medium. For non-cleanup, best. You still gotta clean some silicone cups, so that kind of sucks. But that is what it is. Now the metal ones, they're harder to clean. They make it take longer to cook, and you're liable to ruin your damn bacon bowls because of the weight of the damn pan and how they'll stick to the slick, smooth inside. Even if you spray it, not a guarantee, but that's your best bet. All right, so now we're just gonna go into one of them sped up little montage things where I make all these things rapid style. All right, so now that we're done with our little montage thing, let me point out some stuff here. One, I've got a lot of extra bacon here. That's a bonus. Two, let me put this down. Three, bacon. Meaty side, we see it. Fatty side, right? All right, so point is, when I'm making a bacon bowl, I put the meaty side up, which is going to end up being the bottom of your bacon bowl, but I feel like that's just a better foundation for wrapping, because that fat is going to shrivel and shrink up on you, and you don't want that happening on the bottom that's supposed to be holding everything together. I'd rather it be on the top. That's just what I do. Trying to think if there's any other pointers I need to give you. That's a special one for you. It might not be in the ebook, probably not. I don't remember. I could always edit it, but why? This is why you come to the video, right? What we do next, obviously we're just gonna throw them in the oven. We're gonna set that thing at 400. And for these, we're gonna put it at about 35 minutes. Might check it at about 30 just to see how they're doing, you know. Don't assume it's gonna go according to plan, just be sure to check it. You know, if you're doing it like me, check it at least 30 minutes. If you're doing it with them metal pans, you'll have to take the top pans off at 30, cook them for another 15-ish minutes. And of course, checking them all the way. Especially if you take the pan, after you take the pan off, they might start to tip. You don't want, you know, you want to make sure they don't just like fall off somewhere. Get blended together, smashed up against each other. But we're gonna throw those in, and then start on our second batch, because I got a whole nother rag over here. And then I'll show you when they're done, real quick. Just because it's a thing. Both of these packs of bacon, same company, same store, bought the same damn day. Look at that cut. Look at that cut. Now these are cut the same day as the other ones. Well, they were bought the same day. We don't know when they exactly cut, right? But same place. Both of those are beautiful. Both of those are 10 in each pack. How does that even make sense? I don't know, but this is what I'm talking about. Now the good thing is, I don't really have to pick which one. I can cut either one of them to be the halves, because they are super fat and very even. I like it. That's just how it goes. Life and times of the bacon bowl maker. One more thing that occurred to me while I'm waiting for this thing to preheat was the difficulty I was having with some of the wrapping, because the bacon was too cold. You got to let it sometimes thaw out a little extra. Like once it's thawed in the fridge, you got to take it out, let it sit and get kind of room temperature-ish for a little easier time. It was good enough, you know. It wasn't like springing off and falling, but it could have been easier, so just keep that in mind. You might want to just let them sit out, get room temperature-ish before you start wrapping. It'll just make it easier. Oven says ready, y'all. All right, we'll come back in about 30 minutes and check on it. All right, well, as you can see, we were at 5 minutes, so it's time to check these things. Let's see how well y'all can see this. We're gonna get close, y'all. We're just gonna grab this lightly. Look at that. That's looking beautiful. That is looking beautiful. All right. Check it again in 5 minutes. All right, y'all, we got less than 30 seconds here. I'm not normally a patient man, but you know what? For bacon bowls, we'll make an exception. All right. Shut you up. Give them a look, right? Now, even though it's just silicone, it's still gonna be hot, y'all. Look at them things. Now, I recommend letting them cool off. But, if you're feeling adventurous, go ahead and grab one right now and burn your damn mouth. Not my mouth, not my problem. I don't recommend it though. See, that one fell apart. They ain't all gonna be perfect. If you get 100% of them out the first time you try this, well, congratulations, fuck you. These tongs just ain't working for me. There we go. What's a little singed fingertips? Ain't nothing but a little pain. Pain is only in the mind, y'all. The mind getting its signals from the skin and the sensors in your fingertips, so it's real. So pay attention. That looks like a good batch. They ain't perfect. That one's coming apart right there. This one's kind of struggling. This was really shitty bacon here. Shriveled up way too much. The fat shrank up so much that it's like barely there. Let's see if I can rotate it for the small camera over here, the low camera. Y'all can kind of see it. Look at it. Where's the camera? Right there. Ow, that's hot. All right. Get the idea though. That's how it works. All right, so we're gonna let them cool. And then we'll make our other ones. I know I said I was gonna make the other ones because I got the other pan, but you know what? Got hungry, decided to eat some lunch. I also decided to fire up my slow cooker with some pork in it. There's like 6 pounds of pork in there. So the bacon is ready. We're just gonna let these cool off. Plus this will be less cleaning for me. And after I start the second batch, we'll make the eggs, because this is the one that's gonna show you how to make the eggs, right? Time for some eggs. Got our other baking bowls ready. Look at those things, they're beautiful. Except, one thing I wasn't thinking about, how much fat there was in these. Makes it a little hard for them to stick together. So just keep that in mind. If you can find them without fat, and I know they play tricks with the packaging so you can't see both sides all the time. Just something to keep in mind. I mean, most of them turned out all right, but some of them is kind of a little flaky. It happens. It's still a baking bowl. It can still hold stuff. It's going to be used. Now, speaking of being used, this beautiful thing right here, that's your bacon grease. And since we're about to make some eggs, we're going to have them in bacon anyway. Look, if you don't like the taste of bacon, you can leave now. Shouldn't even have clicked on the video, really. What are you doing here? Leave. Damn vegans infiltrating. We're going to use that bacon grease with our beautiful cast iron. That's probably more than we need, but you know what? I also want some of these pieces in here. We're going to make the most delicious scrambled egg you ever had, people. It's more than enough grease for the cast iron. We're just going to put some of this bacon in here, though. Waste not, want not. That's what they say, right? We're going to pour that. Save that for some later cooking. We can throw it in the freezer. It'll be good to go. Shit, probably have another cup in there or two right now. This, you know what? We'll hold on to it just in case we want to add some more, right? All right, so we got our oldest eggs right here. They still got a whole month on them. Some people just crack their eggs, throw them right into the damn pan. I had a black egg incident. Has scarred me for life, so I'm gonna get my bowl. And this is just how I do things now. Crack an egg into a bowl, make sure it's okay, then we throw it in the pan. All right, we're good. Plus, it gives you a chance to fish out any little pieces of shell that fall off instead of having to dig your finger in the whole damn pan. So what happened to one time, cracking eggs straight into my pan, I was almost done adding them all, and the second to last one, I think, completely black, oily, nasty inside, and it was already in the pan mixing with the others. What are you supposed to do? Try to scoop it out. It's too late. The whole thing's been tainted. So now we just do this. Make sure it's all good, nice and pretty. If you can see that. And then we just dump one in at a time. It's a little extra work, a little extra, you know, one more dish to clean. Worth it. Alright, now let's crank that heat up. We're gonna have to turn on that fan, so it's gonna get a little noisy here. But these won't take that long to cook up, so there's that too. Let's grab our pepper. Bacon should be salty enough, we won't need to add any, so we'll just add some pepper. Now normally if I don't have the bacon grease and I'm making eggs, I just throw some milk and some salt in there, but you know, and the pepper. Since we got the bacon grease in there with the bacon bits, I feel like milk's probably just not necessary. We got enough little extra, you know, fluid and stuff, and milk and bacon grease just seems like a weird combo. Might work. Might have to try that some other time. Now we play the waiting game. But I mentioned I'm not a patient man. Just crank that heat and keep the eggs moving. You can already see them starting to solidify. Turn it back down. I don't want them burning to the bottom of the damn pan. Which they're trying to do. Let's turn it back down a little more. And depending on how runny you like your eggs, these might be good enough for you. And at this point, there's probably enough residual heat. We can probably just cut this shit off. And it'll get right to about where I want them. Which they're almost there anyway. Yep. Move that back there, let it cool a little bit. The final piece of the puzzle. Shredded cheese, y'all. Right, we're gonna take one of these fat ones. We're gonna take one of these not fat ones. Throw a little cheese inside. Go ahead and get a scoop of eggs here. Come on, Chuck. I want you. I want that one. There we go. There we go. That's a little bit much, that's fine. It's gonna spill out, we just eat it like regular eggs. No big deal. A little more cheese on top. And by little, I mean a good amount. There you go. And a little more. Shit, we'll let them heat up a little more. How about that? It's probably asking for trouble. That plate might crack. Let's not do that. That's how you do it. There you go. Close up. Bacon bowls with cheese and eggs. Scrambled eggs and cheese. There you go, y'all. You're welcome. And now we basically meal prep too. We got fucking 2 dozen bacon bowls and a shit ton of eggs. Ready to go for the rest of the week. Now all that's left is clean up after I eat. Well, it's Chad Manley signing off. I'm gonna eat them. Y'all thought I wasn't gonna eat them. I'm gonna eat them. I'm gonna eat them right in front of you. But look at that, cheese is already melting. Oh yeah.